about authentic. And but first things first, I am Keisha. If you're new here, welcome. And I help people who move feel confident and connected in their new area and feel at home no matter where they live, right? So today we're talking about being authentic. And I feel like I know this topic well because I struggled with it for so long. And when you struggle with stuff for a long time, you learn it. You learn it. Um, Okay, so what does it mean to be authentic? It means to be yourself. Seems like a real simple concept, right? Um, but sometimes people don't know who they are. I did not know who I was in like high school and like school, like around that time. I did not know, which is pretty common. I guess, you're trying to figure that stuff out. But what I was doing is I was being a mirror to other people. I'm very good at reading people. And so I would read or make a guess on like what I thought they or how I thought that they wanted to me to be. So if they were very reserved, then I was reserved next to them. And sometimes if people were being like super joyous, I'd be super joyous with them. Um, and I was giving them what I thought they wanted in order to um, kind of maintain that friendship. But what I didn't know is I didn't know who I actually was. Okay, so do you know who you are? Do you know what kind of things that you like? What conversations you don't like? What lights your heart up with passion? Um, for me, it's adventure. I love adventure so much. But do you know what like you absolutely love? Or what makes you want to disappear? What kind of things do you just want to walk away from whenever, like, say, like the conversation is brought up? There's everybody has some things. um, but those being able to answer those questions and answer those questions with conviction is a sign that you know who you are and you're not mirroring other people. Okay. So another reason that people are not authentic is because they act in ways that are not truly like who they are, right? Okay. So when you act in a way that you know you should and you feel like acting in this way, um, sometimes being who you are and shining brightly can give you some form of rejection. Okay. You might not get the right response from people, or they might disapprove of how you're acting. So with that, I feel like I am an encourager, just to give you a life example. And and I felt like I needed to encourage my coworker because I used to work with young children, and she clearly works with young children too. And you know, I was just thinking about it like, man, like she is nurturing these kids every day, and like you can nurture kids or, shove their feelings away, and like and those two kids in those different situations are going to come out differently. And in childhood, kids are like sponges, they're soaking it all up. And I knew I needed to encourage her and tell her, like, hey, you are doing some amazing, awesome things. But I was very tempted not to. Okay. I was very tempted to not send that text of this list of things like hey, you're doing great, you're awesome, you're literally molding the lives of these people in your class, and I'm thankful for you, and I'm sure parents are thankful for you. I was gonna not say that because I thought that it might be like weird, right? Or like, oh, Keisha's coming on strong again, like she's just like going over the top with her comments. And so it was like a tug of war of, should I show up as like who I really am, or should I like dim it down and not cause people to feel a little bit awkward, because sometimes it brings up awkwardness. Do you have those things? Do you have those things where you feel like you should say something, or you want to dance, but you don't because it might make people feel awkward, or you just like want to like jump around? And like, do you have things that you want to do, or that you feel like it's aligned with you 100%, but you don't do them because you might not get the right response? Okay. That's when we as people are showing up unauthentically. Okay. Now, when moving, sometimes we try to be someone we think other people want us to be in order to be friends or to create friendships. And this happened to me in Texas. So, because I was raised north in Minnesota, and I was like, well, maybe if I be more Southern, that I'll make friends in Texas. So maybe if I have like a big hair, big style, say y'all, then they'll like get me more, understand me more, then maybe I'll have friends. And it didn't work, because what happened was I started here, this is who I am, and I had this vision of this is how I'm going to show up. This is who I'm really going to be. And this is who's going to get the friends. And then I was here, okay, right in the middle. And like, I wasn't fully the person I was trying to be, and I wasn't fully myself. And I was more of this awkward, quiet person trying to say y'all and trying to have big hair. It's kind of funny now when I think back on it. But it's a common thing for people who are moving to new areas is that they say, okay, these people will probably want me to act like this. And then since I'm acting like them, we'll be friends. Yay. But what happens is that we're not authentic to who we are, and people can feel that. No matter if we're moving and they're just meeting us, or if we're in a stationary place and we're hanging out with people who have known us for 5 years, people can really feel if you're being authentic or not. And not that they can say, oh, put their finger on and say, oh, you're not being authentic, but you can just feel something's off, right? So another way to step out and to become more authentic and more of who you are is have courage to do something new and to create a life that looks different than the status quo, that looks different than the expectations that people put on you. Okay. Because there's expectations in a workplace of how you should show up. There's expectations in our families of how we should show up. There's expectations within our church of how we should show up. There's expectations within society as general. And maybe part of that's not you, right? So having the courage to look different and to be a little bit different, but be 100% true to you, will really help you step into your authentic self. And what being authentic really is, which I love, when you're authentic to yourself, you're modeling that freedom to others. And honestly, like, I have a few friends who are like 100% authentic to themselves, and they like love life, and they be crazy, and it's fun, right? And I'm attracted to those people. The thing is that all like our surrounding people are attracted to someone who's being authentic, right? We don't want to be friends with someone who's fake or someone who masks all of their emotion, someone who's bland. Because really, I don't think people are bland. We're just covering up to make our front more acceptable. Okay. But honestly, if in this world, it would get a heck of a lot more interesting in the best way possible if people stop pretending to be somebody they're not. Okay. So there's different reasons that people pretend or choose not to be authentic. Okay. First of all, sometimes they don't know each other. Or know themselves. I didn't know myself early on. They're fearful of being rejected by other people, by their family, by society, by who they're trying to gain love from, right? Or they're maybe trying to be friends, right? Trying to gain friends by showing up as someone who they're not. And I think all of this was related to the biggest mistake I've ever made. And I did a video of what it's in the Homesick Happy Movers group. It's in the personal guide or personal growth guide. But honestly, all of these things, if you're showing up and you know that you're not being authentic to who you are, it's related to one of the biggest mistakes that I've made. And I know that that video will help you too. So check it out if you want. If not, no biggie. But you guys, be authentic. Be authentic. Dance if you want to. Like, add an adventure that feeds your soul and lights up your life. There are things that you can probably identify that like make you feel so happy. Whether it be a cup of coffee with a friend at a coffee shop, or buying new shoes, or going on adventure. That's mine. Going on random adventures. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. Especially if we get lost. I don't know why. I love getting lost. But I'm just encouraging you guys to be authentic and to dance through today, right? I'm wishing you guys the best day, and I'll talk to you later.